What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical average American here today to react and learn about London versus New York City, a city comparison. This actually seemed to me like a fantastic way for me to just get a general understanding of London because I have looked at some things about London in the past. Very specific things, though, like the best street market, the 10 best foods, things, little exhibits you can visit. But this is like a great way, I think, that I can get like an overview of London and how the way they're going to compare it to an American city, basically, New York City, I think is actually going to be very helpful for me. Not that I'm the top expert on New York City. There might actually be some stuff in here I learned about New York City, to be perfectly honest with you. But more importantly, it's going to teach me about London. This comparison, it's got all sorts of stuff like the size, the population, what the people are like, the cleanliness, okay, food, transportation, shopping, restaurants, and leisure. Sounds very interesting to me. And honestly, I think this should be fun. So let's take a look.
In the course of this comparison, we shall see similarities and differences between living in London and living in New York City.
Yeah.
Let me quickly tell you that this is not just a living comparison, but a city comparison.
Oh.
Therefore, while we would love to be as detailed as we can be, please don't feel let down when certain details about living conditions are missing.
I think that's actually okay. Like, I don't need details right now. I just need, like, general. Make me understand London, please, and that'll be perfect.
Nevertheless, here's a highlight of what we think you should know about these two iconic and fanciful cities that boast wonderful foods, classical theatre, exotic lifestyle, and state-of-the-art technologies.
Right. I mean, it goes without saying. Obviously, these are two of the most iconic cities on the planet. It's like London. You think of England, you think London. You think of America, you think New York City. Like, I think this is a very interesting comparison and very relevant, honestly.
Please enjoy the city comparison. London versus New York City.
Okay.
Size. London is the largest city of England and the United Kingdom.
Okay.
Sometimes referred to as the City of London and the Square Mile, the city has an area of 2 square miles.
Huh? Wait. There's no way. There's no way that London is 2 miles. I have no idea at all how big London is. I mean, it could be 2 miles, but I don't think that's true. So this is actually helpful.
But this is smaller than the area known as the Greater London, which is about 607 square miles, which incorporates 32 boroughs.
Oh.
New
What? Huh? Wait, there's a difference between... Okay, what are they called? Wait. Okay, so London can technically be, like, divided into different areas based on a technicality?
has an area of 2 square miles. But this is smaller than the area known as the Greater London, which is about 607 square miles.
Okay, now it went from being way too small to being, like, Greater London is 600 square miles? That sounds enormous now. Okay, I'm just gonna roll with it. 600 square miles. Okay, with all the boroughs and stuff included and stuff like that I don't really understand, but I think I get it.
Which incorporates 32 boroughs.
Right.
New York City, or NYC, often simply called New York, is the most populous city in the United States.
Yeah.
The city, located in the southern part of New York State, the 24th largest city in the US, sits on a total area of 300.46 square miles.
Oh, wow. See, I didn't even know that, that New York City is half as big as London, or I'm sorry, the Greater London area, technically speaking.
New York City is made up of 5 boroughs, namely the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island, and Manhattan.
Okay, you see, that's where this is very helpful to me, to have this comparison, because I understand now, when you include the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island, Manhattan, how all that together as New York is 300 square miles. So it's like that, except with all the boroughs in London. That actually makes so much more sense to me. Okay, this is actually being helpful now. This is good.
Population.
Okay.
What about the population of the two cities? The
Yeah.
population of London is estimated to be 8.9 million, while that of New York City is 8.8 million.
Oh my gosh. That's like like Norway, the entire country of Norway has like 5 million people total. And these two cities each have 8.8, 8.9 million people. That is insane.
This means more people are living in London than those living in New York City.
Yeah.
Did you notice that we mentioned that the figures are just an estimate? The population of New York City is derived from US Census data analysis.
Sure.
While the London area is almost double that of NYC, the population figures for both cities are pretty close.
Right. So London is twice as densely populated, huh? That is significant. That is actually like meaningful depending on like where you want to live, population density matters to a lot of people. A lot of more hustle and bustle and hubba bubba going on in London, if that made any sense.
London is only a couple of hundreds of thousand more populous than New York. For that reason,
Oh, what am I wait, what am I saying? What am I saying? London is twice as big of an area as New York City. New York City is where all the hussa bubba, hubba wubba, densely packed sardines are in New York City because it's 1/2 the size of London. Oh, that makes sense because whenever I think of New York City, I think very congested, very full of people, all tightly packed. I have that image in my mind where I don't really have that with London. It seems a little more chill, if that's possible.
London's population density of 11,407 people per square mile is lower than New York City's.
Right.
NYC, which is also the most densely populated major city in the US, has a population density of 27,000 people per square mile.
Oh my gosh.
Though London is bigger and more populous than New York City, more people are living on the streets of New York than you would find on London's streets.
Homelessness and people living on the streets is a big problem in many major American cities, sadly.
Because more New Yorkers are packed and cramped into a smaller area than Londoners.
Yeah.
People. This can be a bit controversial, but
Oh, gee. Oh, no. Oh, geez. Oh, no. We're comparing the people of London to the people of New York City. New Yorkers are famously, like, oh, how do you even say this? They've got personality. New Yorkers have some personality. Let's put it that way. I'm really interested to see what this video has to say on the people comparison.
that's what has been observed about the people who live in both cities.
Okay.
Londoners, as those living in London are called, are polite, though other people see them as being too reserved or even haughty. They're
Okay.
perceived by foreigners as giggly and judgmental. It remains to be proved.
Did he say giggly? Giggly and judgmental. But and obviously I don't know if any of this is true or not. This seems kind of anecdotal. But nice, polite, and like respectful were some of them, which is nice.
Whether they see themselves in that light. People living in London are keen on structure and politeness in dressing.
Yeah.
However, they can be less formal and can even unbutton their shirts at the pub.
Oh.
You could expect them.
What? Hey, Londoners, really letting it hang loose. Oh my gosh. Some of this narration is funny to me. Really letting it loose. Unbutton a button or two, maybe even two. Wow.
To give you a long French stare if you're an oddball. One beautiful thing about the people living in London is the preservation of tradition. Tea has remained tea since millenniums, and lawyers still appear in white wigs.
Oh my gosh. Well, I think the analysis of Londoners was quite tame. Quite nice for the most part. I'm a little scared of what he has to say about New Yorkers.
On the other hand, New Yorkers, as people living in New York are called, can be erratic, impulsive, but confident. Yet this produces the best result. As a matter of fact, if you don't have a measure of ruggedness or can't cope with furor, the non-stop city of New York is probably not for you.
Right. That is what they say. Like, it's like an adaptation to survive the hustle and bustle of New York City, the fast pace. You gotta have a thick skin. Some might even call it rude.
You can be called out for almost anything by New Yorkers. New York is for the determined people. The city,
Okay.
however, is designed and run to allow everyone to get the best. Thus, nothing is depriving anyone of good food, dark humour, and new experiences if you strive.
Okay. Hey, for the most part, this narration, this thing was actually trying to be pretty nice, all things considered. There's a lot of things you could say about New Yorkers. He even put it as confidence, which is definitely true. Maybe over, maybe you can have too much confidence, but yeah, it sounds like Londoners and New Yorkers as people definitely are different, and I think that actually has to do with, well, obviously, like British culture versus American culture in general, obviously, but also the population density, like New Yorkers being so much more crammed and like together, like could tensions could rise, I feel.
Cleanliness.
Oh, cleanliness. Wow. Oh man, I don't think New York is known for being clean. That's for sure. I don't know about London.
Both cities have a measure of struggles with dirt. It is understandable and expected of big cities.
Yeah.
But in this city comparison, we have to give it to London.
Oh.
Why? This is not because New Yorkers have less cleaning and maintenance culture than Londoners. The fact is that waste management is challenging in most populous cities.
Yeah.
And the higher the population density of a city, the more challenging it is to maintain high a standard of cleanliness and orderliness, even
Yeah.
in cities with large bodies of water around it.
So he's saying that London is a lot more cleanly, a lot more clean compared to New York City. That was a very short one. Didn't really dive into that too deeply. I think most American cities certainly are not known for being clean or particularly competent at cleaning, like at all. At all. I don't think that's the secret. But all the stuff I've seen with London, usually it seems pretty nice. Like, I never think, oh, that's so dirty. That doesn't even come to mind. So, yeah, I think that's warranted. Kind of what he was saying.
Food.
Food.
As far as food is concerned, London is none of a big grab and go thing. Well, we mentioned tea earlier. You can't take that away from London. Coffee and pastry are surely for you to take away in the morning.
Okay.
But when it comes to lunch and dinner, London wants you to sit in and eat. There are fantastic restaurants in London where you can have favourite meals which consist of Indian cuisines rich in curry. There is also pub fare with locally raised and farmed foods. Unfortunately,
Yeah. I mean, I know there's some markets and some street food in London. I've literally seen it, like in videos. But New York City, I think, is known for, well, for one thing, pizza, grabbing a slice of pizza and heading out the door and going. It's known for like everyone being on the move. So there's a lot of takeaway food. Maybe that's like the big difference between London and New York. Where London seems to have a lot of very nice food that you do want to sit down and actually enjoy.
many of the tourists do not know where to go to get the food they desire to eat, even while these foods are readily available and waiting for them somewhere in the city.
Huh.
You can find even your native food there if you can find your way to where it is.
Yeah, there's also like a huge diversity of food available in London. I have seen that as well. That's amazing. That's actually super cool.
A new food scene is the fish and chips pub fare outside of the touristy. It is entirely new and trendy. Check out also Michelin star restaurants in every neighborhood.
Okay.
Now to NYC.
Yeah.
In New York City, foodies will thank their stars. This
Yeah.
is the headquarters of grab and go food. There is just something for everyone, from
Yeah. New York is like known for grab and go stuff. Bagels, pizza, hot pretzels, like hot dogs, lots of like cool carts and shops set up everywhere, but it's very much you're supposed to get it and go basically, and it's kind of fun. It's kind of like cool, unique.
bagels to slices. For instance, the infamous New York slice can't be strange to anyone who has ever moved to New York.
Right.
There is a giant piece of pizza with the perfect cheese. It's just for a few bucks. If you travel to enjoy dinner in New York, you're in for a delightful sight. There are top restaurants where you can book your order in advance. The fact is that there's something for everyone in every street. A restaurant will be there that serves your need.
Wow, okay. And it's also kind of part of the experience that, like, some of the shop owners are a little rough around the edges, kind of like, here's your order, get out of here, you know? It's, you kind of want the, you kind of want the food chefs and managers to be a little mean. That means it means it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. It's the New York kind of way.
Is it the one that exclusively makes bao, or one's thriving on Italian fusion? New York City is simply unbeatable.
Nice.
Transportation.
Oh.
We have to tell you that it is difficult to determine which one is better between the two cities when it comes to public transportation.
Okay.
Taking a taxi in London, for instance, will cost you a nice dinner. And taking a taxi in New York City can be worse than walking the whole journey.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. This is an image that you see a lot, or at least I've seen a lot in relationship to New York City is the taxis just bumper to bumper traffic. Like they have to drive like crazy people to get you anywhere, and they do. It's kind of no one really owns a car in New York City. You basically use buses or you walk or get a taxi or use the subway or something like that. But I feel like a lot of that stuff is true exactly the same as London as well.
London still prides itself in being a pioneer of the underground train service called the
Yeah.
Tube. The
Right.
London Underground remains unmatched to date. In New York City, the subway or metro can be a better way of getting around. It is faster than many other ways of getting around in NYC.
Yeah, there's nothing like in New York City that quite matches the London Tube. Nothing like that. But we do have like an underground subway, which is very similar. Just seems like a little more unpleasant, basically. You could see everyone here was like very much stuffed together inside this thing. Pretty typical, you know.
It is faster than many other ways of getting around in NYC. One downside to this and other forms of public transportation in London is that they close early on normal days. Hardly do they work past midnight. But in New York City, public transport is 24/7.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that. That is pretty good. That's actually like kind of significant if you need to get around past midnight or something. Interesting. Yeah, I would have assumed that the public transportation was all operational 24/7 in London as well. That kind of surprises me.
Shopping.
Shopping.
London is great for early risers, as there are many unique coffee shops and handmade breakfasts to enjoy when you want to explore those famous museums. Bear
Okay.
in mind that London is just a stone throw away from the famous shopping centres of the world, such as Paris, Amsterdam, and Madrid.
Right.
You will get many of those top boutique brands when shopping in London. Just anything you
Oh.
are looking for, including even dinosaur fossils. Those
That's right. You're sometimes I don't even think about it that way. Like because when you're in America, you're just in America. You're stuck in America. There's nothing very close to you. You're going to be surrounded by other American states, and that's it. But when you're in London, you're in Europe. You're in the UK. There's other countries very close to you. And that's literally something that is not on the top of my mind. Like, seriously, like growing up in America, I don't even think of stuff like that. It's been like this so long. So that's actually, funny enough, that's actually significant to me.
when shopping in London. Just anything you are looking for, including even dinosaur fossils. Those shops will get them for you.
Huh?
New York
Okay.
City is a city that never sleeps.
Aha.
Everywhere, any time of the day. As mentioned earlier, there are unique restaurants, ice coffee shops, and vintage stores in every neighborhood that has its own cultural norms and styles, especially in Williamsburg.
Yeah.
If you'd love to shop and have dinner, New York can be a more welcoming place to visit.
Oh.
London wins shopping in this city comparison. Yes, NYC
Oh.
has fantastic shopping, but those shops can't stand what London has to offer.
Oh, London actually wins this one. The narrator was kind of like trying to fool me there for a second. But like you said, London is in close proximity to a lot of like major cities that are also known for fashion and shopping, and you can't really beat that. You can't really beat that. So I get it. I get it.
Leisure.
Oh,
A good way to illustrate this is the availability of parks. There are more
Huh.
green spaces in London than in New York. All space in this densely populated city has been occupied. In fact, the only park in Manhattan is Central Park. But in London, you have open spaces and parks.
Really? I didn't know that about London. I didn't know London had a bunch of parks. I just gotta say, in general, like, I think Americans also really love London for its look. Since we're kind of talking about parks and beauty of the city, London does have like a certain look to it, like literally the architecture of the buildings is like beautiful and different. And New York, when you're used to it, can seem a bit cold and sterile and boxy after a while, and very very densely packed. So I feel like London also kind of wins in that way, and it has a lot of parks apparently.
Hyde Park and St James's Park are just examples of world-renowned parks.
Huh.
Now, what is your take? London versus New York City. Which one is better?
Yeah, like this image right here. Like this right here is like super cool. I can tell this is a London. Please be London. I can tell this picture is London just like the way it looks.
Better. The choice is tough, right? In summary, London is beautiful with the most famous landmarks in the world, while
Yeah.
New York City is more exciting and fun-filled.
Okay,
Please, we would love to have your opinion of the two cities.
okay, that's a good little takeaway, isn't it? They are different. They are different. They both have their pros and cons. I enjoyed this comparison. This was actually like even better than I anticipated. Like having the comparison of London against New York City really did help me like appreciate certain things about it and understand. This was good. This was by Learning Canteen, and I liked it. I got to give it a like. This was great. Like he said, I guess New York City has that kind of allure of being exciting and like a lot of hustle and people and everyone's doing stuff and you got to run around with your food. You can't relax for a second with your food even. It has like a certain feeling. They both have a certain feeling associated with them. I've never been to London. When I think of London, I think like more peaceful, more elegant, cool, a little more calm, slowed down. Whereas New York City is like it's like da 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 da, like doing stuff, like never stopping. Everyone's in a hurry. People are a little more aggressive. So I don't know. They're both cool in their own way. But as a video to teach me about London and kind of the cornerstones of London in general, I enjoyed this. I thought this was great and helpful. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Britain, British culture, stuff, and places in Britain I've never seen before, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.